Welcome to the Cooking with the Doctor show. My name is Rick Hill, and we're glad you're here. Today, we're going to be cooking with Rosa Contreras, who is a licensed nutritionist here at Oasis of Hope in Tijuana. Now, there's going to be some background noise because we're really cooking here. We have a room full of patients and companions, and there's one or two kids sprinkled around. So if that bothers you, then just turn it off. But we're really cooking here. This is really a clinic. Today is Wednesday. This is a day that the clinic is operating, the hospital. So tell us what we're drinking here before we do our little nutritional toast.
So we're drinking green juice, and it just has all kinds of greens, bell peppers, chard, spinach, and some cucumber, and a little bit of apple.
So here's to a good show. We are going to have a show on juicing coming up in a few weeks. And we'll show you how to make this, my personal favorite, watermelon juice, carrot and apple. But this is really delicious. I know what you're thinking. I ain't drinking that. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because it's ugly and I don't drink green things. But I am telling you, it does taste good.
It does. It's amazing.
And
it's better than coffee. It gives you so much energy.
So, today, tell us what's on the menu.
Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to cook some salmon with some herbs, and then we're going to make a quinoa salad. So if anybody hasn't tasted quinoa, it's amazing. It's full of protein. It has a lot of fiber. And it's great for you guys to incorporate it into your diet.
Now, how is that different than rice?
It's really not that much different. At the end of the day, it's just really tiny. It tastes a lot like rice. It cooks like rice. So it just has a lot more protein.
It looks like birdseed.
But
it does. It's got a little
really
round
good.
thing. It looks like birdseed. How many of you have had this in the room? Okay, about 2/3 of you. So this group eats birdseed. This is what I want you to know. So, okay, what would you like to do first? Oh, okay. Did you finish talking about the other ingredients?
Yeah, well, we can talk about it while we're doing it.
So add this first.
So you just add the quinoa.
Okay, now this is, go ahead.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
This is a stainless steel 1018 pan that is stainless steel throughout, plus it's actually got aluminum sides covered with 1018 stainless steel, the bottom and the top. So this becomes a mini oven. It heats equally on the sides as well as the bottom. And the top has a little valve that opens and closes, a little bit like a pressure cooker. But the beauty of this is that it's so hard that it doesn't chip, and you don't get aluminum bleeding through, and you don't get all those things that you don't want to get in your blood system. So we have these on our website. What is that website? It is, ladies and gentlemen, www.cancersupportshow.com. And this is, of course, the Cooking with the Doctor show. So we're cooking with this kind of cookware because it is more healthy. Let's put it this way. We're not going to do anything today over 186 degrees. 186 degrees. Did you hear me? Okay, good. And the reason we want to do that is because anything over 215 starts to degrade the nutrients of the food. And if you nuke something, you're talking about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. You don't do Fahrenheit. They don't do Fahrenheit here. We're in Mexico. But I don't know how to do the math that quickly. But 400 degrees is much too hot. So I'm adding the birdseed. What's it called?
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Yeah.
And that's a cup. And then we have here, tell us what we have.
Then here we have some vegetable broth that we made at home. So you just add 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of veggie broth.
Okay, that'll add a little flavor.
Yeah, that's going to add flavor. You can obviously use the box ones that come that are organic, but we like to make our own here. So.
Okay, so we're really cooking, so we spill things.
Yeah. We're going to add just a little bit of sea salt to it. And we're going to add a little bit of pepper. And since we have it here, we're just going to add a sprig of thyme.
And we're going to turn this down to about 4 or 5 until it begins to percolate.
It boils, and once it boils, then you just turn it down to simmer.
I've got this on closed so that it traps the heat. What we have here are magnetic cooktops. Now you say, well, I have a stove at home, Rick. I live in the 21st century. I know you have a stove at home. I have a stove at home and I still cook with these. Why? Because this pan is magnetic. It has a magnetic layer. And this cooktop is magnetic. What's happening is we are not transferring heat from the cooktop to the pan. This is on, and it's you can touch it. It's not hot at all. What's happening is we are magnetically transferring, exciting the molecules. These pans are excited.
Yeah.
Exciting the molecules inside these pans, and they're becoming hot without heating the surface. Now, the value to you, if you've got a big pan on the stove for 5 hours, is you're not heating the kitchen. Now, this time of year it wouldn't matter, but June, July, and August, you're not going to want a hot kitchen, so we use these. The second thing is that these heat much more quickly. If you've got a magnetic cooktop and magnetic pans, I wouldn't say twice as fast, but I would say quite a bit faster.
Yeah, way faster. You're going to see, because that is usually done in 10 to 15 minutes. And you'll see that it'll probably be done in like 9.
So tell us what we're going to do here.
So now we're going to do the salmon. So I just added a little bit. And it's wild caught. And it does have the skin on, because I really like the skin. Okay. And so it's really a very simple recipe. You just add a little bit of olive oil to it. You add some pepper, just for seasoning. You add a little bit of salt.
This is sea salt, of course.
Yeah, we use sea salt, but I also like to use the pink salt, the Himalayan salt, or just some vegetable salt would be fine too. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of thyme to it, because anything that you are cooking that you add herbs to it will obviously always taste better. So you just have to experiment with your herbs. Okay. You add a little bit of lemon to it.
Now, tell us about the nutritional value of salmon, and then how does that, what does a new cancer patient, somebody that's here for treatment, want to do with a protein dish? How often? How much?
Well, we usually say 4 out of your 21 meals should have a little bit of protein. We usually would serve this to 4 people, so you would cut it in half and then have, you know, your salad, your vegetables, a little bit of the quinoa. It's full of omega-3s. It's a great protein to eat, and it doesn't only just help your hair, your nails, your skin. It does help your hormones too. So it's a great protein to eat.
Now, when I was here for treatment in 1974, I was not concerned with hormones. That never entered my mind. What I was looking for is, am I going to make it to next week? You know, but she's a nutritionist. So, but now in 4 out of 20, so once a week?
Yeah, I would do it once a week, even twice a week is fine, you know, to have some salmon, fish. Obviously, if you stay with fish and salmon.
Chicken?
A little bit of chicken, turkey, those are the best ones to have, okay?
Now, as you can see.
I wouldn't have red meat.
Does everyone see the pan is spinning? So Rick is going to turn that down to 2. And you couldn't do this without this kind of cookware. You couldn't put it on 2 and have it do it. And you saw how quickly we brought that up. And on 2, think of your electric stove on 2 is just almost low. And yet, vapor is not the same as 212 steam. If you're in a bathtub and it's cold in the room and the water's warm, do you see steam rising off the bathtub? Yes. Well, that's the same way you can cook food without boiling it. People think steamed vegetables are very, very nutritious. I don't think so. If you steam them, you've killed them. But you can cook them below 186 degrees, and you haven't reduced the nutritional value greatly.
Exactly, which is the most important thing.
Okay,
so now we're going to put it here. Okay, it's going to sizzle. And then we just cover it, okay?
Now you put that on 2. You probably better bring that up a little.
A little bit more, like 4. We're going to do it on 4.
Okay, let's talk about the other ingredients you've got over there, and nutritionally, what do you have? How are they important?
Well, so we always want to eat vegetables, right? We're always saying veggies, veggies, veggies. And sometimes we're just so used to the same ones all the time. So experiment.
So Americans, what you're saying, corn and peas, right?
Corn and peas and potatoes.
I made 3 meals for Dr. Contreras. You can see them. By the way, right here is our Cancer Support Show site. And here is Cooking with the Doctor. So when you go to www.Cancer Support Show, you can see this cooking show and all the other ones we've done by clicking here. The podcasts we've done, you can hear by clicking here. Now that means when you go home, you're going to get support. You're going to know what's going on and how to do it. Boot camp is there. But what I'm saying is I'm cooking for Dr. Contreras and he's going, what's with all the corn and peas? You Americans, that's what you eat. We don't eat that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So we got this sort of thing going here.
Exactly. And we have to try new things because, yes, corn and peas can be good for you, but they are higher in sugar. So we need to find the lower sugar vegetables that they are out there.
Okay, let me just move over here a second and make sure.
Okay, so we are going to do a quinoa salad. And to it, we're going to add some bell peppers. And I chose the yellow ones just for the color. They're super high in vitamin C. They're full of antioxidants, great for fiber, and they give you a great taste. Then we're also going to have some cucumber and some tomatoes. And us Mexicans, we eat a lot of avocado. So like you would say that you add peas to everything, we basically add avocado to everything.
Avocado goes on tacos. Huh? Olé.
It goes on everything. So we're going to make a salad. And I think that should almost be ready here.
Okay, let's sneak a peek. You notice I didn't keep opening it and sneaking a peek?
Oh, no, not really. Okay, so it will almost be ready. So let's do our little dressing.
That's on 3. We're cooking salmon on 3.
Yeah.
And this one's on 2. So we're not using extremely high heat here. I want you to know that. Now, while they're bringing the olive oil and the other things, it's time for Rick to do a commercial. And the commercial is for the Cancer Conundrum book. I wrote this. This is the dramatic and often hysterical, funny life story of me when I was here in 1974. There's a picture of me. You didn't know I was that handsome, and you didn't know that I ever had that much hair. Well, I did. I was at the Mayo Clinic. I was treated there for 10.5 hours of surgery and was about to have chemotherapy when someone called me and said, if you stay there, you're going to die. That was their opinion, not a medical diagnosis. And I said, well, okay, I could leave here, but where do I go? And they said, there's an outfit, you're an outfit in Tijuana that is doing nutritional therapy. Now imagine going to your family and saying, I'm thinking about leaving the Mayo Clinic and going to Tijuana. Imagine the reaction you get. Well, you've already imagined the reaction you get. You've all been there. But most of your family looks at it and thinks that you've flipped your wig. So I tell the story in all of its gory detail. And for those who attend the Sunday orientation here at the hospital, I give every new patient a copy of this signed. They don't have to pay for it. And we'd love to have you to have one of these. Now, if you're not a patient and you aren't in Tijuana right now, which you're probably not, then you can go to Amazon.com. It'll cost you about $10 plus shipping. And that is clearly more money than free. But then you didn't have to pay to come to Tijuana to do that. So it's called The Cancer Conundrum. I think you'll enjoy it. If you don't get one out loud laugh while you're reading this book, send it back. I'll refund your money. Those that got you free, I'll give you $5. All right, I'll do it that way.
Perfect.
How's that? Rosa.
Perfect. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I think the salmon's ready, so you can get it back. Okay, perfect.
All right, we're going to shut up.
I just added a little bit of lemon juice to it, and then a little bit of olive oil.
Now, what are you making?
Bit. Just the dressing for the salad for the quinoa. Okay, so we're doing a salad. Okay? And then just a little bit of Bragg's, the amino, okay?
What is that?
The amino, it's kind of like soy sauce, okay?
It is soy sauce or it isn't soy sauce?
Yes. I mean, it tastes like soy sauce, but it's amino.
Okay, so there's no gluten in it.
Exactly, there's no gluten.
Did you know that in almost all soy sauces,
there's gluten?
There's wheat, the number one ingredient, and there's no soy. So the question is, why do they call it soy sauce? I don't know.
Okay, so we just whisk this a little bit. And we're not going to add salt to it. Okay, we're just going to add a little bit of pepper, and then we should get this out. I think this one should be ready.
Okay. I have it shut off.
No, okay, so just a little bit of pepper for taste.
Look how nice that looks.
And we didn't even turn it around or anything. Okay.
Yeah, we did not. We kept the lid on. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't want to clean that skillet. Well, let me show you a little trick. What I'm going to do is deglaze it.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Getting a little bit of water. What I'm doing is returning the heat to that pan. I'm going to get a little bit of water. And as soon as I see the little bubbles, which I'm not seeing yet, so I need a little more heat. But in other words, if you're cooking a piece of chicken or something like that, and when you put it down there, it sticks to the pan because it's stainless steel. But as the natural oils come to the surface of the pan and it forms that crust, when that crust is formed, it releases the meat. And then you know this. And then you can flip it. That way you don't have to use oils and all this. She's looking at me like, yeah. But it does leave the drippings in there, crusted, which is good for what? Gravy. You can make gravy with that. So with gravy, you put a little bit of gluten-free flour in there, a little bit of milk, and a little bit, ton of pepper. Yeah, you know how to do that. Well, watch this. Let's see if it's hot enough yet. Yeah.
There.
Now that is deglazing the pan. And then you take just a little wooden spatula.
And we're done.
And we're done. That pan is clean. You might want to take a little barkeeper's friend, which is like Comet, but it won't scratch your nice pan. But I didn't have to scrub that pan. Can I get an ooh and an ah? And an ah? All right, stay with me here. I'm working with you. But that's how easy it is to keep this up. When the pan needs cleaning, just boom, it's done. And you're going to need a spoon. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, I got it.
You got it.
So this is ready.
It's not sticking to the bottom. Now, Rose's husband works here at the hospital, and his name is Gaston. Gaston, as pretty as Rosa is, Gaston is handsome.
Exactly.
So when they walk down the street, it's like GQ.
It's like
going somewhere.
Like Belle and Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's right. No. Now that's calling Gaston a beast, don't you think?
No.
I mean, I can count, I can read.
No, you don't remember that Gaston one?
Oh, right, yeah, Gaston, yeah.
The guy?
I do remember now, yeah.
She just chose the hotter one, though, in that movie.
Right.
Okay, so then we're going to add the cucumbers to it. You choose how many, how much. Tomatoes to it. And if you want to dice up a little bit of the...
A little bit of this?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get...
And then the bell pepper.
Create a little space.
So we're making our warm salad. And really, you could just eat it like this. I just like it with a little bit of the dressing. So you just add a little bit of it.
And you know what? You got the perfect time.
I know.
I can never do an avocado right. When I buy it, it's either black when I open it, or it's like a brick. So I don't know how to buy an avocado.
You can't squish it, but it has to be just soft.
Oh, sure. I've heard this before.
I'm just starting to think you don't like avocados that much.
Actually, I do. I learned to eat avocado here in San Diego when I was down here for treatment. Soldier Burford made me an avocado sandwich. I took one look at it. There was no way I was going to eat anything that color.
And then
I loved it. I loved it, yeah.
Of course. So this is our warm salad. And it's amazing, really. It just tastes so good. And obviously you decide if you want to add a little bit more salt to it, if you want to put some herbs in here, if you want to wait till it cools down. So quinoa is one of those very versatile things that you can eat it warm or cold, and it still will taste super good.
Rosa Contreras, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for her.
You can add a little bit of your lemon to your salmon at the end, just for it a little kick.
What we want to do, but just before we close the show, is we certainly want to encourage you to be vigilant. The life you had is not the life you have now. The life you have now is mostly raw and uncooked. And I know why you get tired of that. I did it for 5 years straight. And only on Sundays would I have a little piece of fish or chicken or something. The rest of the week was mostly like oatmeal for breakfast, a big salad for lunch, and some steamed or warm vegetables. I didn't know how to cook it right then, for dinner. But I'm telling you, the people that stay with this do really well. The people that don't, really don't. So we're going to be cooking once a week with these wonderful ideas, organic, gluten-free, full of nutrition, cooked with low heat, and somebody came by and blessed it.
Exactly, which is the most important thing.
And how about that salad? It's not a gringo salad. There's no peas. There's no corn. Rick didn't make it.
It's really, really good.
Good to see you.
That's it. The doctor approved.
Exactly. That's all
Next
we
week.
need.